Struggling to decide when to claim your Social Security? Should you start at 62 or wait? It's not just about money. It's about planning your life. Let's get some perspective. Welcome to another episode of Christian Financial Perspectives. We're so glad that you joined us. My name is Shawn Peters. I'm joined, as always, by my father-in-law and co-host, Bob Barber. We are building a community of like-minded Christians who want to glorify God with their investments and finances. So if you enjoy that kind of content, we'd love for you to hit subscribe and know every time we post a new video. So today, we're going to be covering a topic on Social Security and when should you take it? I know this is something that a lot of people ask, especially if you're in that 60 to 70 age range. So we want to try to help answer that question for you today. Bob?
Okay, Shawn. So like you said, it's one of the hottest topics out there about when you should take Social Security, especially if you're around 60. That's me. I just turned 61. So I got my Social Security statement and I'm thinking, all right, what should I do? Should I take it next year? And of course, based on what I know, I'm not going to. I'm not going to take it probably till I'm 70 because, as you know, y'all are never going to let me retire around here. So I have to work forever. But this is a very hot topic today amongst people in my age group. And as you know, there's millions retiring in my age group trying to answer this question. And I think it really, for a Christian, it boils down to two. There's this scriptural principle that we find in Luke 14, 28 through 30 about counting the cost. And Shawn, I always pick on you to read the scripture. So if you would read that for us.
Well, it's just because I have such a melodious voice.
There you go. Exactly.
It's soothing.
Yeah.
All right. Luke 14, 28 through 30. Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? For if you lay the foundation and are not able to finish it, everyone who sees it will ridicule you, saying, "This person began to build and wasn't able to finish."
Now that really goes with retirement planning.
That's right.
And not able to finish means you're not able to finish life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
With enough money.
The money runs out before life runs out.
Exactly. So when I broke this down, and I spent a lot of time on this, I think I told you I spent about 10 or 12 hours. Normally, a lot of the programs I can do and just put together in 15 or 20 minutes. This one I spent some time on. And we're going to go over 4 areas today in the program. We're going to go over questions and ideas you need to think about with your Social Security. The second one is how working income affects your Social Security benefits. Questions to ask before taking Social Security, before your full retirement age. You'll hear us say that again many times. It's FRA. That's how Social Security refers to it too, as the full retirement age. And what's the break-even point? This is a real big one. What's the break-even point for taking Social Security earlier or later based on math? And you know how I love
Bob,
math.
you and math. It's almost like you want to try to make this objective and non-emotional.
Exactly. Yeah. So we want to start with that first question that I we talked about, the questions and ideas you need to think about before or when taking Social Security.
That's right. So the first one, are you still working? And if so, what is your earned income?
And we'll go over that here in a minute. How long might you live? Okay. And so you got to think about this I really don't know, but think about it. What are your genetics? At what age did your parents or grandparents pass away? Your parents may still be living, and like siblings. So, are they all still alive today? That has a lot to do. You can kind of figure out how long you're going to live. I go to my graveyard and I see everybody lives to 88 or 90 years old. So
exactly.
I'm kind of figuring on 90. Should I offset an early retirement income before Social Security full eligibility age, or just take it? Because if you don't take it, you're going to have to take more from your nest egg. And then that fifth one you have here.
And then we also have where will your income come from? That's hard to say. If you're retired or retiring soon, is that pension, IRA, savings, Social Security, all these sources? And then the last one, of course, yes. If I take Social Security early, it will be less. So is this wise in the long run?
Yeah. So we'll look at the math and see that. So this is how working income affects Social Security benefits and why it's so important. If you're still working, in my opinion, you don't want to take Social Security benefits when you're still working, but you'll see why here, because if you start taking that for every $1, and the number today is $21,240. For every $1 that you make over that, you're going to have your Social Security benefits taken away from you. So it works like this. In other words, Social Security deducts $1 from your benefits for every $2 you make over the annual limit. Okay? So basically, you're getting a 50% reduction, Shawn, in your Social Security benefits if you take it before full retirement age.
Yeah.
And for many of us, like most of us are born after 1960, my age, and that full retirement age is 67. Okay. So if I start taking Social Security at 62, and Shawn, I make more than $21,000, then half of my Social Security benefits are going to be taken away from me.
Yeah. If you're working and not making more than 21,000, that's probably a different problem anyway. But but that's really low.
It is.
So if you're watching this and you make more than 21,000, I would say you want to
delay taking
off
your Social Security.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, there's another point in here too. If you are still working and you do reach full retirement age, okay, which in my case would be 67 years old.
Got it.
If I'm going to make over $56,000, basically $56,520, that's this year. Social Security is going to deduct $1 in benefits for every $3 above that number. So they're basically, instead of taking half, they're taking a third, but they're still taking it from you. Gotcha. This is why if I don't plan on retiring until 70 and I make beyond $56,000,
gotcha,
I'm not going to take it.
But again, this only applies if you're still working when you take Social Security.
That's right.
Gotcha. Okay.
You got it. That's right.
Okay.
But there's a nice thing here.
Okay.
And do you see that point?
Yes. You want me to go for it?
You go over it. Okay.
All right. So unearned income, like interest, investment income, stock dividends, income from a pension, retirement plan, annuity, and rental income, if it's not a full-time business, will not affect the Social Security benefits.
Yeah. So if you've done really well saving and you are 62 years old now and you want to take your benefits from your savings, which is considered unearned income, that's not going to affect your benefits. It's only going to be earned income.
Good.
If you retire what you're making at the Home Depot or the Lowe's.
Yeah.
Because I've always said if I retired, that's where I'd go work.
Oh, yeah. Because help people with all the random handyman stuff,
and the discounts I'd get.
Exactly.
Because I'm there all the time anyway.
Yeah, you got to feed your habit.
Yeah. So the general rule is it's best to wait to take Social Security if you're still working full time, because odds are, you're making above the threshold of $21,240 a year. That's before the full retirement age or after the 56, after the retirement age.
Okay. So next, questions to ask before taking Social Security before full retirement age.
Yes.
So the first one, are your parents still living in their 80s or 90s? So age longevity is an essential factor in determining if you should take Social Security before your full retirement age, the FRA.
That's right. If you're retiring early, which is better, taking Social Security early or from your retirement nest egg? Because, so you need $5,000 a month to live on, or $6,000. Social Security would maybe provide you $2,000 of that.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to delay taking Social Security, that means you're going to have to take another $2,000 a month, right, from your retirement nest egg that you've saved.
That's right.
For many, many years. So you got to ask yourself, do I want to take that from myself, or do I want to take what the government wants to give me now that I'm going to be taking those Social Security benefits, either before full retirement age or after or right at? Okay.
So the next one, what is the general break-even point for starting earlier versus later?
Yeah. And we're going to go over the mathematical equation here for that. Okay. And that annual benefit at full retirement age, you want to subtract the benefit at age 62. So we're going to go into the mathematical formula for how this works, because it's basically like this. Let's say that you're going to get $20,000 a year if you started taking Social Security right now.
Okay.
But the other side is I'm going to wait to 67. All right, that's 5 years, right?
Yep.
What's 20,000 times 5?
Oh, Bob,
that's a hard one, isn't it?
It's $1 million, right?
100,000.
It's 100,000, yeah.
100,000. So you realize that, Shawn, if you're 62 years old and you do want to start taking Social Security, but you're you've always heard, wait, and you wait another 5 years to your full retirement age, how much less money have you gotten so far? 100,000. You've got to take that number of 100,000, and I looked at what if you were to receive $20,000 per year at age 62, the number that you would get at age 67 would be $9,411 of extra benefit.
Okay.
Okay?
Per year.
Per year.
Right.
So what do? You take that 100,000, you divide that by 9,411 because that's the additional benefit.
Got it. Which gives you an extra 10.62 years.
Right.
So almost
now,
11, but say 10 and a half.
So now we've pushed the benefit out by 10. We pushed the break-even point by 10 years. In other words, you started taking Social Security early, 5 years early, and by doing that, it takes another 10 years once you start taking it to catch up. Now you're 15 years to the break-even point, right? Now, I started taking that, and I said, well, what about the time value of money?
Right.
You got to add another 3 to 4 years there.
Okay.
So by the time that you get, if you start taking at 62, your break-even point is basically 18 to 19 years, or around 80 to 81.
By taking it early.
Okay?
Gotcha.
So you got to ask yourself when you're 62 years old, do I know for sure I'm going to live 18 years? Or is could something take me out before tomorrow? But then again, this is why it's so important to look at how long has your parents lived.
Right.
In other words, if you think you're going to live to 90, it would be better to wait
till 67.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But here's another thing. Politically, where is Social Security Day? We just had to extend the government debt by a lot.
The debt ceiling was extended again, or raised, whatever the proper terminology is.
This is my opinion, and this is an opinion only, and so it's kind of a politically waved opinion. But I believe that those who have been responsible and have saved will be penalized later. The government's going to say, well, if you've got a couple million in your retirement nest egg, why do we need to keep giving you full Social Security benefits?
Yeah.
So there's
even though you've been paying in your entire career.
Exactly.
But now all of a sudden, because you actually did what you should do, which is save and invest and plan for the future, now all of a sudden, we don't need to pay you because we haven't managed things properly, and now we pay all these other people Social Security that didn't plan ahead.
The government always.
I could never see the government doing something like that.
They always penalize people who are responsible. I don't know why, but it just, and I'm making a statement, and I know it's a political statement.
I think maybe it's jealousy, Bob, because most of your government officials don't know how to actually budget, or plan ahead.
Yeah. So
they just raise the debt ceiling and spend more money.
So now you're 62 years old, and you're asking yourself, should I start taking Social Security right now? Well, those are some questions you have to think about. You have to think about, what's my longevity? Am I still working? What I think is going to happen to Social Security in the next 15 to 18 years. Will they adjust it by how much I have in my retirement plan? I think that's going to be what's going to save Social Security. I do not believe Social Security is going away.
Yeah.
I don't think that, if anything, it would be political suicide for any politician to start messing with Social Security to where the system would break.
Yeah.
But it will be very top heavy, and it's getting more and more top heavy, meaning there's more people taking out than putting in. Okay.
Yeah.
The bottom line is there's a lot of financial planning that's got to be done here.
Yeah.
You can't just say, well, I just want to take it early at 62. It's got to be put into a financial plan.
Yeah.
And you've got to look at what your benefits are. You've got to look at what the break even is. You've got to look at your age, longevity. So this just needs a lot of financial planning, bottom line.
To try to simplify it a little bit, though,
okay,
for our viewers,
and
listeners, it really comes down to a few specific points. The first one I think that people need to know is your longevity.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, none of us know what time the Lord has appointed for us. Right. We don't know how long we're going to be here, but just kind of like when insurance companies are looking at what to charge you for premiums.
Well, they have the mortality
they look
tables.
at statistics.
Yeah. Right.
So So if your family has a history of, great granddad and granddad and and dad, they all lived to 90 something.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you should, assuming you're staying in good health, you should probably assume on 90 for planning purposes.
Right.
But if everybody, leaves early,
Yeah.
in late 70s or 80, then yeah, that could make a big difference on whether you should take it early or not.
That's right.
And then obviously the second part is, what are your actual income needs?
Yeah.
If you're able to, like Bob was just talking about a little earlier, if you're able to weather the storm for an extra 5 years and you're expected to live to 90 based on your family history, well, the math says you would be a lot more better off. I said more better.
Yeah.
You'd be better off waiting till 67. So,
Shawn, like I said,
just to
try to
keep it simple.
is you need to do a lot of financial planning with
Yeah.
this and put all this into the system. We have our system. We put the financial, all the Social Security benefits are figured in there.
Yep.
You just put in income. It's all laid out and it can show you in the form of a graph. So that's going to do it for today. Shawn, there's so much here with Social Security. I could have gone another 30 minutes talking about this.
Yeah. Well, we were trying to keep it simple and
Right.
helpful and hopefully point you guys in the right direction. So, yeah, it's a interesting topic.
And if you need some help with this, we are here. Our phone number, you can text or call, is 830-609-6986, or you can find us on the web at christianfinancialadvisors.com. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to like and comment and subscribe to our channel so you can get future updates. You can also follow us on social media, handle shown on screen. In the meantime, check out one of these other videos.